being rejected by my crush of 3 years, my parents dropped a bombshell. I have an arranged marriage. Just as I was heading to get the marriage certificate in a daze, I realized something. The girl I was betrothed to since childhood was none other than the most popular Ice Queen senior at my school, Serafina Frost. And now, she's actually become my wife. Get up already, you brat. How late were you up playing games last night? I rubbed my eyes and pulled back the covers. Mom, Dad, what are you guys doing? It's finally vacation. Why can't you just let me sleep? Are you actually stupid or just playing dumb? Today is the day you register your marriage. My mom, Helen, snapped at me with clear annoyance. I snapped wide awake instantly. I practically lunged out of bed. Why didn't you say so earlier? I'm going to go get ready right now. Before I could even pull on my pants, I bolted toward the door of my room. The moment I stepped out into the hallway, my face froze. I saw a girl sitting in the living room immediately. The girl in the living room was looking right back at me. A faint blush crept across her cheeks. Sorry. I didn't know anyone was out here. After shouting that, I sprinted straight into the bathroom. I felt like a complete idiot. I wanted to slam my head against a wall and kill off my six-pack abs, which, admittedly, were still a work in progress, and now she'd seen them. Meanwhile, sitting in the living room, Serafina's face flushed slightly redder. His build isn't too bad, she thought. The corners of her mouth twitched upward into a faint, involuntary smile. I finished getting ready quickly. After changing into proper clothes, I walked out. I stepped into the living room. The two of us just stared at each other. Neither of us said a word. After a long moment, I was the first to break the awkward silence. Hi, I'm Luke. Looking at the breathtakingly beautiful girl in front of me, my heart wouldn't stop racing. She was definitely way more stunning in person than in her photos. Serafina gave a polite nod. Then she said indifferently, "Let's go." "Go where?" I asked, confused. Serafina arched a perfect eyebrow. "To get our marriage certificate." Her tone was incredibly casual, as if getting married was just some minor errand. My expression turned a bit strange. Wait, so this is for real? Do I need to bring anything? I was feeling a bit overwhelmed. Serafina replied coolly, "Just bring yourself, plus your ID and birth certificate. I'll wait for you downstairs. Don't make me wait too long, and you might want to change into a white shirt." With that, she stood up and walked out first. She left me standing there completely lost. As soon as Serafina left, my parents, Helen and Mark, instantly popped out from the bedroom. Before I could even react, the two of them shoved my ID, birth certificate, and a white shirt into my hands. When Serafina saw me come downstairs, a trace of a smile finally flickered across her face. She looked at me and was momentarily stunned. She hadn't expected him to grow up to be quite so handsome. "Did you wait long?" "Quite a while. I was just trying to be polite. I didn't expect her to actually agree that I took too long." "How are we getting there?" "Should I call an Uber?" I asked, changing the subject. "I have a car. I'll drive." Then, Serafina led me toward a white Mercedes-Benz. "Are you being forced into this?" I couldn't help but ask. I'd already worked it out in my head. If she was being forced, we could just pretend to get married for now. We'd basically just use the license as an excuse to get our parents off our backs, and then find a reason later to say it didn't work out. Serafina was slightly taken back. She clearly hadn't expected me to ask something like that. Seeing her silence, I assumed I was right. "You too, huh? We haven't even graduated yet, and we're getting married. I don't know what our parents are thinking. How about this? We find a way to just pretend we're married?" Serafina let a subtle, almost imperceptible smile touch her lips. "Pretend to be married? What does that mean?" I explained. "If I don't get married, my parents are going to cut off my allowance. I don't want to spend the rest of college living like a castaway." Serafina blinked her beautiful eyes, a playful glint appearing in her gaze. "If that's what you want, then let's go get the license." I let out a sigh of relief. "Alright, let's go." Serafina's face returned to a neutral expression. "I don't have a license." I looked at her, confused. "Then how did this car get here?" "I called a valet service earlier." "Then call them again. I'm out of money." I gave her a look of pure disbelief. "You're driving a Mercedes and you're telling me you're broke?" Serafina seemed to know exactly what I was thinking. She explained calmly, "It's my dad's car." I had a nagging feeling she was doing this on purpose. "Then what do we do?" "I don't have a license either. I just finished my learner's permit test." Serafina gave a faint smile, looking like she was perfectly prepared for this. It's fine. I brought my electric scooter as a backup." We both got out of the car. Serafina led me over to pink electric scooter. "This is it. You drive." I hesitated. "Pink scooter?" This was tough guy pink if I ever saw it. Well, pink or not, I didn't have much choice. At least I'd be wearing a helmet. But when I saw the color of the helmet, my brow furrowed. Why is the helmet pink too? Serafina shot me a glare. "I'm a girl. Is it not normal for me to buy pink things?" "Are you judging me?" I waved my hands dismissively. No. How could I judge you? I actually love pink. Get on." I put the helmet on. "Wait, you don't have a helmet, do you?" "Who says I don't?" From the compartment under the scooter seat, Serafina pulled out another pink helmet. "Help me put it on." "I don't know how." You don't know how to put on a helmet? Then how do you usually ride this thing? Whatever. I decided to just help her out. I leaned down to help her secure the helmet. Our eyes met. Looking at her beautiful face up close, I could feel my cheeks starting to burn. Staring at her features, a strange ripple of emotion stirred in my heart. I shook my head, forcing myself not to overthink things. There, it's on. And just like that, with 2 people on 1 scooter and 2 pink helmets, we set off. I didn't dare drive too fast, scared that a wrong turn would ruin everything. The scooter didn't have the luxury of a car, but it had one major advantage. It was much more intimate. Without me even noticing, Serafina's hands had wrapped around my waist. I could feel the softness pressing against my back, accompanied by the faint, elegant scent of her perfume. I couldn't help but glance down, my eyebrows knitting together slightly. 2 hours later, outside the marriage bureau, a man and a woman stood holding their respective marriage certificates. I looked at the document in my hand, still feeling like I was in a dream. I couldn't believe I was actually married. Even if it was supposedly a fake marriage, it was still my first time. I glanced at Serafina. She wasn't even looking at the certificate. Instead, she just tucked it away in her bag. It seemed like the marriage meant nothing to her at all. Make sure you keep that safe, I reminded her. We'll need it if we ever get a divorce. Serafina didn't answer. She simply said, time to go back. Once we got back to my front door, I said a quick goodbye and went inside. Serafina watched my retreating back, the corners of her mouth curving into a smile. Idiot. She then walked back to the Mercedes, pulled out the marriage certificate, and stared at the photo of us together. She couldn't take her eyes off it. A fake marriage? The government seal on this says otherwise. A rare, warm smile spread across her normally cold face. A lovely smile once again flickered across her face. Then, she carefully tucked the marriage certificate into her bag. She drove away in the Mercedes, leaving the scene behind. Neither of us told a soul about getting the certificate. I honestly didn't dare to say a word. Even if I did, who would actually believe me? Besides, this was essentially a fake marriage. If people found out about this later, it might ruin my chances of finding a real partner. More importantly, it would ruin my wife's chances of finding someone. Wait, why does that sound so unhinged? Worrying about my own wife finding another guy? Well, she's just a fake wife anyway. Though, it would be nice if it were real. In my mind, I couldn't help but keep replaying our intimate moments from earlier today. She's so stunning, has such a perfect figure, and she's so cold toward everyone. She definitely wouldn't be interested in a guy like me. Ultimately, I decided to attend Riverside University. As for my major, I chose computer science. Actually, saying I chose it isn't quite right. It was more like my dad chose it for me. School was starting in a couple of days. I was feeling pretty anxious. A new environment, new people. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to adapt. It wasn't until 2 days before the semester started that I found out there was a freshman group chat. But the moment I joined that group, I realized how small time I really was. I thought there would be normal people in there, but I was left speechless the second I entered. Does anyone know if the school allows parking? I'm bringing my Porsche. Is there a Starbucks on campus? I need a cup every single morning. Otherwise, I literally can't function. I just got back from abroad. Is $15,000 a month enough for living expenses? I'm a little worried it won't cover everything. I stared at the screen in disbelief. Is every freshman in this chat a show-off? I had originally intended to ask the group about the campus situation, but I hesitated. Should I even bother asking in here? While I was debating it, an account with the ID Poseidon suddenly messaged the group. Freshmen who want to know about the school, DM me. My eyes lit up. Finally, a normal person. I quickly sent a friend request. A moment later, Poseidon accepted my request. Hi, senior. Can I ask you a few questions? What's your name? I froze when I saw the reply. Do I really have to give my name just to get some info? I'm Luke, a freshman in the computer science department. On the other side of campus in a dorm, Serafina's beautiful eyes blinked, and the corners of her mouth curled up. Finally, I found you. She had been lurking in that freshman chat for a long time. That was exactly why she had asked for his name first. CS, that's the same department as me. Pity. A pity? Why? The job market for computer science isn't looking very good right now. Graduation basically means unemployment these days. The competition is brutal. It's almost as soul-crushing as civil engineering. It suddenly occurred to me, if the prospects were so bad, why did a senior like him choose it? Serafina went silent for a moment. Then she replied, a certain uncle suggested I study it, so I suggested his son study it too. Nice move. If you have to suffer through it, might as well make his son go through it as well. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair, right? The two of us chatted for a long time. I had a really good impression of him. I figured since Poseidon was talking so much, there would eventually be a sales pitch for a campus phone card, but it never happened. Thanks, man. There aren't many genuinely decent people like you left. Serafina stared at the screen, speechless. Is that so? You don't even know me, yet you answered all my questions so patiently, and you didn't even try to sell me a campus SIM card. Oh, right. Hey, Junior, want to hear about our campus data plans? Sure, sign me up. I felt a bit embarrassed. After all, he had helped me so much. Besides, I actually did need a new card. Serafina burst out laughing when she saw my message. He really was too cute. Couldn't he tell she was joking? I was just kidding. Do you play games, senior? What kind? I play everything. PC or mobile? Both. My favorite is Call of Duty though. I'm a 10-year veteran. I play COD too. Let's hop on. My surprise, Poseidon's skill level was actually quite a bit better than mine, and I've been playing for a decade. We played all afternoon and barely lost a single match. If it weren't for getting reported too many times and being shadow banned, I wouldn't have let him go. Dude, are you cheating? You're just bad. Get good. Why won't you turn on your mic? It's broken. Whatever. Once I'm on campus, I'll buy you dinner at the dining hall. I'll hold you to that. In the dorm, a girl with a high ponytail and above average looks walked back in. She caught sight of Serafina's phone and the faint smile on her lips. Maya squinted her eyes, looking suspiciously at Serafina. What are you smiling at? Maya felt like something was wrong. Was Serafina actually in a relationship? That seemed impossible. Didn't Sarah have a no-men rule? Otherwise, why would she have? Rejected every single guy who pursued her. Since she started school 3 years ago, she was known as the Ice Queen of Riverside University. No man was good enough for her. Even the guys everyone considered campus heartthrobs couldn't get more than 3 words out of her. You're not actually thinking about a guy, are you? As if. Sarah, don't tell me. You actually like someone? Maya looked like she was about to cry. Serafina wiped the smile off her face. She gave her a cold look. Date him? You think I'd do that? Maya breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, good. I knew the campus goddess couldn't have suddenly fallen in love. She sat down and took a sip of water. Actually, I'm already married. Sarah, stop joking around. Maya looked down at the water she'd just spilled on her pants, feeling totally humiliated. Believe what you want. Serafina rolled her eyes at her. Maya laughed it off. Sure, I believe you. Our campus goddess is married. Just remember to invite me to the wedding feast. She said it, but of course she didn't believe a word. The #1 beauty at Riverside. The cold goddess. The man-hater. Those descriptions didn't fit with the word marriage at all. Right, who would believe that? Only an idiot would believe it. Serafina gave Maya a pitying look and sighed softly. Sorry, I'm 1 step ahead of you, my dear best friend. I said I wouldn't date, but I never said I wouldn't get married. Maya stood there looking dumbfounded. What's with that look? You're making it seem like you're actually serious. Serafina didn't explain. She just smiled indifferently. Why are you always playing that game anyway? I feel like only guys play that kind of stuff. Maya pointed at her laptop screen, asking in confusion. Obviously, so I can play with my husband. Maya rolled her eyes. If you have a husband, then I have a toddler. On move-in day, as soon as I walked through the campus gates, I saw a line of large blue umbrellas linked together. Sitting under them were the greeters from various departments. CS department, over here, I heard someone calling out. I walked over toward the sound. There was a girl sitting at the desk, looking through a list of names. I dragged my suitcase over to them. I had just finished registering my enrollment information. Just as I was about to look for an upperclassman to show me the way, the voices of the people around me suddenly grew, loud and chaotic. Isn't that the campus goddess? What is she doing at the freshman reception desk? Behind the registration area, there stood a top-tier beauty with skin as white as snow, radiating a cool, elegant glow, with a trace of coldness in her beautiful eyes. She was looking left and right, as if she were searching for someone. What's the deal with the campus goddess? Is she looking for a boyfriend? No way. She said she doesn't do dating. Even if she did, the campus heartthrob would definitely have the best shot. True. She's probably just here to welcome the new students. I wonder which freshman is lucky enough to be personally greeted by her. Almost everyone's eyes were fixed on Serafina Frost, including the incoming freshman. The moment I saw Serafina, memories of our shotgun wedding a month ago flashed through my mind. My heart began to race uncontrollably. After a moment, Serafina finally spotted the person she was looking for. Her furrowed brow smoothed out instantly. The coldness in her eyes melted into something gentle. A faint smile appeared on her face, and she immediately started walking in my direction. I froze. I was just planning to stay and watch the drama, but it felt like she was heading straight for me. While I stood there dazed, Serafina had already reached me. Can't find your dorm, little freshman? Let me show you the way. Serafina gave me a sweet smile. That smile made my heart skip a beat. Didn't we agree to just pretend we were married? I whispered to her. A playful smile tugged at the corner of Serafina's lips. Yeah. Right now, I'm taking you to the dorm as your senior. Why aren't you calling me seniors? Where are your manners? I felt a bit awkward under her gaze. Thanks, senior. So, can you take me to the dorm now? Serafina arched an eyebrow. Say please, senior. I just wanted to get out of there quickly. I wasn't used to being the center of attention for so many people. I felt like they were all gossiping about me. So I had to give in. Please, senior. Serafina gave a cute little laugh. Well, since you asked so nicely, I guess I can take you to your dorm. Then she pulled me along, and we left the area. Arriving at the residence hall, Serafina spoke up. "You're in building 3. I gave a quiet acknowledgement. "I'm right next door. I'm in building 4. "I didn't ask. "I'm being nice to you. What's with the attitude?" Serafina pretended to be annoyed. I didn't dare look at her. Mainly because every time I did, my heart hammered in my chest. Sorry. Serafina finally beamed. "That's better. We're at the same school now. We should help each other out. My dad told me to look after you. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be here." Clicked for me. No wonder. Otherwise, I would have thought Senior Frost actually liked me. For some reason, a flicker of disappointment crossed my heart. Serafina's face turned slightly pink. "Please, you're so full of yourself. Anyway, let's swap Instagrams. We didn't do it last time." Slammed my forehead. "Right. Look at me, I'm a mess." After getting married last time, we hadn't even added each other's contact info. A married couple with no way to reach each other. Even a novelist wouldn't dare write something that ridiculous. "Alright, little freshman. If there's anything you don't understand at school, just ask me." "I got it. By the way, Senior, what's your major?" "Computer science, same as you." I was a bit surprised. "Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can always come to me. Your senior will give you all the answers," Serafina said with a bit of a proud huff. Seeing her act so cute made me daze out again. Who could have imagined the Ice Queen back at the reception desk would have such a cute side in front of me? Serafina smirked. "What's wrong? Fallen in love with me?" I snapped out of it. With a red face, I stammered, "No way!" "Impossible. Absolutely impossible." Serafina's tone turned a bit dismissive. "Weak, whatever. That's building 3. I'm heading out." After saying that, she walked toward her own dorm. Inside the dorm, I quickly bonded with my roommates. We spent the whole afternoon chatting and laughing. The next morning, I got up early. After washing up, I went out to get some breakfast. Just as I left the dorm, I messaged Poseidon, "Hey Senior, which dining hall has more pretty girls in the morning?" Going to college is all about getting into a relationship after all. Thinking about dating, a person's name strangely popped into my head. Serafina. I immediately shook my head. What was I thinking? She's the campus goddess. Why would she ever look at someone like me? Meanwhile, in the girls' dorm, Serafina was currently gritting her teeth. She glared at her phone screen. "Looking for girls? Am I not enough for him to look at?" Go to dining hall 3. There's a surprise waiting. Receiving the message, I immediately changed direction. I was originally going to dining hall 1. But since the senior said there was a surprise at hall 3, I definitely had to go. Serafina's eyes were cold. "I'm going to get breakfast." "What do you want?" "I'll get yours too." "Get mine? Why the sudden offer? What's going on?" Maya was completely bewildered for a moment. This was the first time. She couldn't read her best friend at all. Serafina's expression didn't change a bit. "Just DM me what you want." "I'm leaving." He left Maya standing there, completely stunned. As soon as I walked into dining hall 3, I saw quite a few girls, as expected of the senior. He really has great taste. This surprise was indeed pretty good. There were definitely more girls here in dining hall 3. I finished buying breakfast. I found a seat, planning to eat while I enjoyed the view. Suddenly, a woman walked through the door. Her long hair fell over her back like a waterfall, swaying slightly. The sheer beauty of her face instantly caught my attention. Of course, it wasn't just me. Everyone else in the dining hall was also drawn to her. Wait, why is she here? I was a bit surprised. Actually, it wasn't that weird when I thought about it. The senior said there were many beauties in hall 3. I guess even the campus goddess eats at hall 3. Serafina spotted me sitting in the corner immediately. "Found you." Under the gaze of the crowd, Serafina walked straight to my table and sat down. "Came to look at girls, huh?" Serafina said coldly. The soy nook in my mouth almost choked me. "Senior, how did you know?" "Yes." Serafina's face turned slightly red. "You've been staring at me since I walked in. I can tell exactly what you're thinking." I looked confused. "What's up with you? Are you in a bad mood?" Serafina shot me a glare, fuming with anger. When someone is about to cheat, how could I possibly be in a good mood? Cheating on who? That's low. Serafina gave me a resentful look. "Are you actually this dense, or are you just faking it?" I was completely bewildered. Serafina spoke up with dissatisfaction. "We already got the certificate. Coming to dining hall 3 just to check out girls. Doesn't that count as intent to cheat?" I froze for a second. "Are you kidding me? Didn't we agree to just pretend we were married?" Serafina started playing dumb. "Pretend to be married? When did I ever say that? We discussed it back then." Serafina arched a perfect eyebrow, her voice laced with a playful teasing. "Was the certificate we got back then a fake? It has full legal standing, you know." I finally realized I was being led around by the nose. "Then what exactly do you mean by this?" "I'm done teasing you. Since you said it's just a pretend marriage, then naturally I won't interfere with your life." I asked tentatively, "For real? But since we possess this marriage certificate and name, you aren't allowed to find a girlfriend before the divorce. Finding a girlfriend while married is cheating. That's immoral. I'm saying this for your own good." My brain was having trouble processing this. Is that how it works? I felt like I was being brainwashed. So there's no way around it? College isn't perfect without a relationship. The corners of Serafina's mouth curled up slightly. There is one other way. She beckoned with her hand. Come here. Leaned my ear in toward her. Serafina gently brought her lips close to my ear. I could smell the faint, refreshing fragrance lingering on her. Serafina's tone became incredibly gentle. You could always date me. My ears turned bright red instantly. Senior, are you serious? My heart wouldn't stop racing. Serafina gave a mischievous laugh. Just kidding. Looking at the radiant, laughing Serafina in front of me, I almost lost my grip on my cup of soy milk. I was totally being played. Is this breakfast for me? Serafina asked casually. I was just about to shake my head, but I ended up nodding subconsciously instead. Thanks for the breakfast, Junior. With that, Serafina took the breakfast and walked off. I pressed a hand over my heart. Thinking about how Serafina had just leaned into my ear, and what she said, my heart was pounding out of my chest. I closed my eyes, and the scene from just now filled my mind. What was happening to me? I think I'm actually falling for her. I headed back to the dorm. The second I walked in, my phone chimed with a notification. So, how were the girls at Dining Hall 3? I didn't really look. I spent the whole time looking at our campus goddess. What do you think of her? I took a moment to think. I think she's gorgeous. She definitely deserves the title of Riverside's #1 beauty. So do you like her? I figured Poseidon wasn't an outsider. He'd been pretty good to me. Telling him how I really felt. Seemed okay. To be honest, Senior, I actually do like her a little. Every time I see her, I get that racing heart feeling. But she's the campus goddess. The odds of her being interested in me are pretty low. A faint smile appeared on Serafina's lips. You like me, but you don't dare say it to my face? For some reason, her heart felt incredibly sweet. Since Serafina arrived at Riverside, countless people had confessed their love to her. She'd never felt a thing, practy, but my words made her face flush with a warm glow. Now that Serafina knew I had feelings for her, she couldn't help but mutter to herself. Tisk, tisk, Serafina Frost, Tiggs, Serafina Frost. Since when did you become so wicked? Wanting to tease your junior like this? Wait, I was always this wicked. Next day, during freshman orientation, it was finally time for a break. The instructor asked everyone to perform a talent, to liven up the atmosphere. Next, it was my turn to perform. I decided to sing a song. It was one of the few talents I actually felt confident in. As the accompaniment began to play, the entire crowd fell silent. My voice was deep and filled with emotion, carrying a sense of inexplicable sorrow. It was the feeling of a broken heart. Not far away, Sarah, this guy sings so beautifully. It's not even midnight and I'm already catching feelings. Even though Maya had never been in a relationship, hearing this song made her feel like she was going through a breakup. Serafina saw that Maya was still immersed in the music. She secretly wiped away a tear from the corner of her eye. The next day, on the campus confession wall, several videos of me singing appeared. Admins, help me find this guy. This guy's voice is amazing. Does anyone know him? Can someone give me his contact info? Meanwhile, I was currently being roasted into a piece of charcoal by the sun. I hated myself for the fact that before orientation, my legs didn't miraculously decide to get injured. While everyone was standing at attention under the scorching sun, a girl with a parasol appeared on the field. She was wearing a white, ethereal sundress. Looking like an angel descended to earth, she walked quietly to the very front of the stands and sat down. Isn't that Serafina Frost? The campus goddess is actually watching the drills. These freshmen are way too lucky. The people around were buzzing with gossip. Break time finally arrived. I could actually feel Serafina's gaze on me. I had a feeling she was here specifically for me, but I didn't want to show it. What if I was just being narcissistic? Barnaby leaned over, an admiring expression on his face. Holy crap, Serafina is seriously too beautiful. Whoever gets to be her boyfriend must have saved the world in 8 past lives. I rolled my eyes at him. Can you try to have some class, like me? Wait, why do I feel like she's been staring in this direction the whole time? She couldn't be looking at me, right? Barnaby narcissistically stroked his own face. A girl with a ponytail, wearing a school uniform skirt, walked over to the 7th unit under her umbrella. Her gaze locked onto me sitting in the back, and she walked straight toward me. Excuse me, could I get your contact info? I pointed at myself, asking in confusion as the people around us started cheering. Barnaby even played wingman. She came all this way in the heat to ask for your number. Give it to? I suddenly felt a chill down my spine. I immediately looked toward the senior sitting at the very front of the stands. The corners of her mouth held a faint smile. No, it was a cold smirk. I remembered the words she had said to me. This counts as cheating while married. Actually, I'm married. The girl froze in place. Married? Leo hurried over to smooth things over. No. He's actually a little crazy in the head. Don't mind him, senior. Why not take my number instead? I'm a pretty good singer, too. The girl shook her head. I don't like guys who are too scrawny. After saying that, she left. Barnaby couldn't help but gloat. You beanpole, who would want that stick figure body? Serves you right. Ha ha ha. I stole a glance and saw that Serafina's face had returned to its usual coldness. What was going on? I was a bit confused. She's so cold and distant when people are around, but when we're alone, she's actually quite talkative. I honestly had no intention of giving that girl my contact information. Without even realizing it, Serafina Frost had already claimed a place in my heart. I keep feeling like Serafina likes me too, but I'm scared that if I take that step, it'll end just like it did last time, while I was lost in my thoughts. Serafina stood up from the stands. She was holding a bottle of water. She walked over to the 7th unit and handed the water to me. How did you know I didn't bring any water? Serafina said indifferently. It's for you. I took the water mechanically, my mind going blank. Even though we have the marriage certificate, I'm fully aware that we aren't together in any real sense. Plus, Serafina is Riverside's ice goddess, unreachable queen. The sight of her giving me water, in front of all these people, I never would have dared to imagine it. Serafina's expression didn't change, but I could see her cheeks flushing slightly. This was the first time she had ever given a guy water, especially in front of such a huge crowd. Thanks, senior. My heart wouldn't stop racing. After giving me the water, Serafina left immediately. I looked at the bottle in my hand. My quiet heart began to stir. The other freshmen watching were stunned. What's the relationship between those two? Why would the campus goddess give him water? That's the #1 beauty at Riverside. In an instant, countless eyes filled with jealousy and hate were staring daggers at me. Leo looked at me bewildered. What's the deal? You off the market? And with the campus goddess? No wonder you wouldn't give that other girl your number, I replied grumpily. How could Serafina ever be into me? I don't even know her. Of course, how could I not know Serafina? We're literally married on paper. I just didn't want them to get the wrong idea. We really are dating. I'm still not sure if Serafina actually feels that way about me. Orientation ended soon, and the Mid-Autumn Festival break I'd been waiting for arrived. Just as I was debating whether or not to go home, Serafina sent me a pinned location. Dad wants you to stay here. What was going on? I was a bit lost. I checked the location. It was an apartment complex very close to Riverside University. Could my dad have bought a place for me? I dismissed that thought immediately. He probably just rented it. I arrived at the apartment building. Just as I reached the door and before I could even knock, it opened. The door swung wide, and standing there was a breathtakingly beautiful woman. Serafina. She was wearing a thin silk nightgown and shorts. Her graceful figure was on full display, leaving me wide-eyed. Her porcelain shoulders, legs, and feet. I shook my head, and to toss out my dirty thoughts. Senior, do you live here too? Come in. Slippers are in the shoe rack. Serafina looked calm. She didn't answer my question right away. I hurried inside and put on the slippers. Pink? This is a bit much, isn't it? I looked at the pink slippers on my feet. They even had a bunny pattern on them. I glanced at Serafina's feet. Well, her slippers. They were the same style, except hers were blue, and the pattern was a big bad wolf. Is this a matching couple set? My cheeks burned. Senior, you haven't answered me yet. Why are you here? Serafina shrugged. I've been here for a while. I've lived here for a year. Wait, you've lived here for a year? Did my dad rent this for me? He bought it for you. He bought it for me? Since when was my dad this nice to me? He's the same guy who said my allowance would be cut in half if I didn't get married. I was ecstatic. Owning a home before even graduating? Wait, that's not right. If my dad bought this house for me, why are you here? A faint smile played on Serafina's lips. Because this is the bridal home our dads bought for us. Bridal home? Serafina giggled softly. We're already married on paper. Isn't my dad your dad now? We're all family. It finally clicked. This was the wedding house Mr. Frost had bought for the two of us. Looking at Serafina's triumphant smile, I swallowed hard. I felt like I had walked into a wolf's den. Only the wolf was a beautiful woman. You have to stay here every weekend from now on. During the week is fine too, of course. I was a little confused, but internally I was more than willing. Why? Serafina put on a piteous act. Do you really have the heart to let your wife stay in this big house all alone? She finished with a blink of her big, watery eyes. Wasn't this supposed to be a fake marriage? Why were things heading in such a strange direction? Fine, I nodded, looking at those big, innocent eyes. I simply couldn't find the words to say no. Besides, I really did have feelings for Serafina. Serafina arched an eyebrow. Let me show you around our home. To be honest, with her calling it a bridal home, it really started to feel like we were actually married. Well, technically we are. The certificate is real after all. I was quickly blown away by the apartment. There was a room specifically set up as a gaming room. Ooh, PCs. I set this up specifically for you. Do you like it? The graphics cards are RTX 4090s. Don't worry about the specs. RTX 4090. I couldn't contain myself. I ran over and gently stroked the equipment. I've been using a gaming laptop at school, which is basically a compromise. I never expected there to be a dedicated gaming room here, let alone with such high-end gear. Who would ever stay in the dorms on the weekend after this? I'd rather die in this room, I said excitedly. I can play on both of them? Serafina glared at me, The other one is mine. What were you thinking? She really wanted to kick this oblivious guy. Wasn't it obvious why there were two computers? Stupid pig brain. Wait, you play games? Looking at my skeptical face, Serafina pouted. I could totally crush you. I let out a dismissive laugh. Senior, I'm not bragging, but if you can beat me at my best game, I'll listen to whatever you say in this house. I'll do whatever you want. The corners of Serafina's mouth curled up. You said it. She held out her pinky finger to initiate a pinky swear. I laughed. Are you a kid? A pinky swear? Even as I said that, my hand moved forward instinctively. So soft. Are a senior's hands always this soft? I could feel my face heating up again. Why does this scene feel so familiar? I knit my brows. It really felt like I had seen this happen somewhere before, but I just couldn't place it. Without realizing it, my fingers interlocked with Serafina's small hand. Serafina's face flushed red, and she asked in a soft, gentle voice, "What's wrong? Do you like holding my hand that much?" I snapped back to reality and quickly let go. No. Sorry, senior. I didn't do it on purpose. Serafina reached out and touched my face. Just calling me senior is fine. There's no need to add my last name every time. What's wrong with your face? It's burning up. It's nothing. Maybe it's just too hot in here. Like a startled little rabbit, I scrambled to the bathroom to splash some water on my face. I washed my face and took a deep breath, just interlocking fingers with her. Made my face flush uncontrollably. This was the first time I had ever been this close to a girl. First time I had ever truly held a girl's hand. Serafina gave a mischievous laugh. So you really are just a pure innocent boy, aren't you? I blushed and tried to explain. What are you talking about? It's just a little stuffy in here. Keep telling yourself that. You really liked touching my hand, didn't you? Serafina arched an eyebrow, looking at me with a playful glint in her eyes. I turned my head away, my face beat red. I did not. Serafina slowly leaned in toward me and hooked her finger under my chin. Silly freshman, you don't even know how to lie. If you like holding your senior's hand, just say so. We are married after all. By now, my face was red all the way down to my neck. I didn't dare meet her eyes, and my heart was hammering away. The corners of Serafina's mouth curled up. Did she have some kind of hobby for teasing innocent guys? Little rabbit freshman. Hee, the big bad wolf is coming for you. Just as I closed my eyes, preparing to let her do whatever she wanted with me, I realized Serafina was holding her phone, taking a picture of me. She couldn't stop laughing. Sorry, that expression was just too funny. I had looked like a lamb led to the slaughter. After taking the photo, she waved the screen in front of my face. I saw myself in the picture. Amidst that helpless expression, there was a definite hint of enjoyment. This photo made me look like a total creep. I made a pained face and pleaded, "Senior, I'm begging you, please delete it." Serafina gave a wicked grin. Little rabbit, that depends on your behavior. Help. Who on earth called Serafina Frost a cold goddess? I wanted to cry. She's basically a female delinquent. Okay, a gorgeous female delinquent. If I stay here, is she going to peek at me while I shower? What are you thinking about? You look like you're enjoying that little fantasy. Anyway, where's the bedroom? I quickly changed the subject. Didn't I just show you around? I frowned. Wait, but after your tour, there's only one master bedroom left. Don't tell me you want me to sleep in the gaming room? I actually got a bit excited at the thought. Sleeping in a room with a 4090 rig would be worth it. The smile on Serafina's face froze. She looked like she wanted to spit or drink at me. How could he still not get it after she'd been this obvious? Serafina huffed. The gaming room doesn't have a bed. Where are you going to sleep? On the floor? Then where do I sleep? You can't expect me to sleep on the living room sofa, can you? Serafina acted as if she were in a real dilemma. What should we do then? I guess since there's no other choice, you'll just have to share the room with me. When I heard that, I immediately waved my hands. No, that's not necessary. Really, I couldn't trouble you like that. Sleeping in the same bed as her. The thought was thrilling, but I'm a gentleman. How could I take advantage of her like that? Serafina snapped irritably. If I tell you to sleep there, you sleep there. She had practically laid it out for him on a silver platter. Was this idiot really not getting the hint? I didn't expect her to get angry. I said helplessly. Fine, I'll stay. Serafina glared at me. You look so miserable about it. What's with that face? Right, baby. As if she wasn't the one making a sacrifice. She was the #1 beauty at Riverside. And here she was being rejected by this guy. It wasn't that I was rejecting her. It was just that in my eyes, Serafina was sacred. I didn't want to tarnish her. I was on the verge of tears. Alright, I'll do whatever you say. Come here. Serafina signaled with her eyes. I walked over obediently. She gently stood on her tiptoes and lightly stroked my hair. Her voice turned sweet. Don't be sad. Just be a good boy and listen to me, okay? I almost couldn't stop myself from hugging her. She was way too cute. I'm not sad, Serafina explained patiently. This place wasn't furnished by me. My dad did it. Everything was set up for a married couple. Like the slippers and stuff. So, isn't it normal that there's only one bedroom? Besides, if I'm not complaining about my reputation, what are you afraid of? Unless you're planning something untoward, we'll just lie in bed and do nothing. As long as we have a clear conscience, we're fine, right? I seemed to be swayed by her logic. It was true. Even if we shared a room, as long as we kept it innocent, our consciences would be clear. I was like a little rabbit, being led in circles by the big bad wolf. That was Seraphina Frost. Deep down, I definitely wanted to sleep in the same room as her. She was beautiful and soft after all, but I didn't have a good reason. Seraphina had just provided me with one. Did your dad really set this all up? I asked, still a bit skeptical. The older generation usually doesn't know how to put together a gaming room. Seraphina said with absolute certainty, trust me, when have I ever lied to you? She blinked her big, honest-looking eyes at me. Internally, she was thinking, I'm totally lying. I did this all on purpose. I wanted to question her more. She'd played me once before with the fake marriage thing. Who knew if she was tricking me again? But looking at her sincere gaze, I couldn't help but believe her. We still have plenty of time. I'd play a few rounds. We'd made a bet earlier. If I lost, I'd have to do whatever she said. It was time to show off my true talent. As an FPS prodigy, we played several rounds. I stared at the screen in total disbelief. No way. Senior, you're definitely cheating. In my absolute best game, I was getting played like an easy bot by a girl. I stubbornly made excuses. My aim is just off today, you got lucky. Seraphina made a cute face at me. Did good, scrub. A bet's a bet. From now on, you have to listen to me in this house. I made a sour face. Fine, I give up. Seraphina put her hands on her hips. You have to report to me before you go out. There's only one key to the house, and I'm keeping it. No bringing other people over. If you want to come over, you have to tell me first. Got it? I gave her a mock salute. Yes, senior. Seraphina looked at my ridiculous pose and couldn't hold back her laughter. Little rabbit is so cute, hee hee. I really want to eat him up. Senior, what about dinner? Should we order takeout? I suddenly realized a problem. Who was going to cook? I could only make scrambled eggs and fried rice, or about a dozen different flavors of instant noodles. Seraphina smiled calmly. I'll cook. I was shocked. Senior, you know how to cook? It's alright, it's edible, I know a little. She actually enjoyed cooking quite a bit. She often spent time researching various recipes online. You could even say it was one of her hobbies. However, she had always cooked only for herself. She had never made a meal for anyone else before. This was her very first time cooking for another person, and she was giving that first time away to this oblivious junior. Seraphina checked the clock and saw it was about time. Wait here, I'm going to start dinner. Do you need a hand? Will you be able to handle it all by yourself, senior? Seraphina shook her head. No need. You've never done this before. If you come in, you'll just get in my way, I said sheepishly. Alright then. Good luck, senior. I'll go cut some fruit for you. Seraphina let out a soft chuckle. How did Luke become even cuter as he grew up? She really wanted to ruffle his hair. She felt a bit dazed. For a fleeting moment, it felt like they were truly a pair of newlyweds. Dinner is served. Dinner's ready. Seraphina called out. I looked at the dishes on the table, and my mouth started watering instantly. Every single thing was something I loved to eat. How did you know these were my favorites? I asked in surprise. Seraphina said with a proud huff. Don't be so full of yourself. I didn't know. I just happened to feel like making them. Looking at her feigned indifference, I couldn't help but smile. I was starting to feel certain Senior Frost might actually have feelings for me, though I didn't know why. I knew for sure that I liked her too. Senior, let me get the rice for you. I hurried over to help her serve the rice. A satisfied smile appeared on Seraphina's face. He's actually quite considerate. All that hard work wasn't for nothing. Soon, the 2 bowls of rice were ready. Hee hee, Senior gets the first bite. I placed a piece of spare rib into Seraphina's. Ogol. Seraphina was momentarily stunned, her cheeks flushing slightly. Once I saw her take a bite, I started digging in as well. Without exaggeration, these were the best sweet and sour ribs I had ever tasted. Better than the work of professional hotel chefs. I spoke from the bottom of my heart. Seraphina felt a surge of secret joy, but she kept her expression perfectly composed. Do you like it that much? I love it. Then I'll cook for you every day from now on. Seraphina gave a shy smile. My gaze softened a bit. A shy Senior Frost was truly too cute for words. After a while, Seraphina suddenly asked, Can you eat any more? I quickly swallowed the rice in my mouth. I think so. Why? Seraphina handed her bowl, which was still half full, over to me. Finish this for me, I can't eat any more. I don't want it to go to waste. I had served her a bowl earlier. Even though it wasn't overflowing, she still couldn't finish it. She didn't have a very large appetite. I'll finish it for you. My face heated up. It was my fault for serving too much rice in the first place. It definitely couldn't be Senior's fault. So, I had to fix my own mistake. But the thought that this was rice Senior had already eaten from made my face turn beet red. Is this an indirect kiss? I took her bowl and began to eat, taking small bites. For some reason, I felt like the rice in Senior's bowl tasted better than mine. It was sweeter than mine. I hurried to control my expression, scared that she would think I was a pervert. After finishing the meal, I took the initiative to wash the dishes. I had planned to go play games afterward, but Serafina called me over to watch a show with her. I didn't hesitate. Unconsciously, I had started to obey her every whim. The sofa was quite large. I didn't sit directly next to her at first. Serafina knit her brows slightly. Come closer. I quickly scooted my butt over. The two of us sat in the middle of the sofa. Even though we were very close, we weren't actually leaning against each other. She smells so good. Was her body naturally fragrant? Being this close to her, I could smell her faint, natural scent. It was a very comforting aroma. It felt almost addictive. If I could, I really wanted to pull her into my arms and take a deep breath just to fill my lungs with her scent. Senior, what are we watching? Seeing the situation, Serafina smirked. A K-drama. A K-drama? I had never watched those before. Only seen those viral recap videos online. Whoa, why aren't they together yet? I was so invested and anxious that I instinctively leaned my head onto her shoulder. Serafina glanced at me. Sorry. I realized what I was doing and tried to apologize. Serafina smirked again, her voice teasing. It's fine. If you're tired, you can lay your head in my lap. Looking at her fair, slender legs, my face turned bright red in an instant. I couldn't even imagine how comfortable those legs would be, but I managed to restrain myself. Serafina looked at me with a grin. Teasing this little rabbit was becoming quite a thrill. I sat bolt upright immediately, not daring to move an inch. Serafina arched an eyebrow. If you won't move, I will. The next second, on my shoulder, I felt a touch as soft as silk, and along with that touch came a wave of her faint fragrance. As senior, what are you? I was suddenly at a total loss. My heart hammered wildly. Don't talk. Let me rest here for a bit. Her voice trembled slightly. It was low and soft. A blush spread across her face. This was the first time she had ever leaned on a man's shoulder. Another first, given away to this oblivious junior. I didn't dare move at all. Put your hand on my shoulder. Serafina's voice was very tender. Okay, so I placed my hand on her shoulder. The two of us were just like a real couple. The girl snuggling against the boy's shoulder while watching a show. Time flew by. Serafina checked the time and said calmly, it's time for a shower in bed. You go shower first. Your pajamas are in the room. I nodded. I showered very quickly. When it comes to speed in the shower, guys definitely take the prize. Senior, I'm done. That fast? Serafina asked in surprise. My turn. Go play on the computer for a bit. After a long while, Serafina walked out of the bathroom. Her hair was still damp, radiating a fresh, clean scent. Her pink pajamas clung softly to her body, outlining her slender figure. I was momentarily dazed. It wasn't just because she had an indescribable beauty after a shower. There was another reason. She was also wearing pink pajamas. The same pajamas. No, they were a matching couple's set. Senior, this. I looked down at my own pajamas. Serafina arched an eyebrow. What about it? Is it that bad to wear the same thing as me? Are you rejecting me? I quickly explained, that's not what I meant. Wearing the same thing as you is, well, an absolute honor. Serafina let out a soft laugh. Luke, you idiot. She stopped smiling, and her expression became cold and distant again. Come here and help me dry my hair. But I don't know how to dry a girl's hair. Then learn. This is a royal command. Yes, Your Majesty. Then I grabbed the hairdryer. Senior, I said while drying her hair. This is actually my first time drying a girl's hair. Serafina gave a faint smile. It's also my first time letting a guy help me dry mine. Senior, your hair smells amazing. I'll allow you to take a sniff. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I don't have a fetish like that. I really don't. I felt a bit aggrieved. Senior's expression clearly showed she didn't believe me. Alright, all done. I looked at her expectantly, my face practically begging for a compliment. Just like a little kid. Serafina couldn't help but laugh internally. Then she put on a look of utter surprise. Oh, Luke, you did such a good job. Well done. Hearing that praise, the corners of my mouth nearly reached the sky. Heh, you know it. Then, can you help me dry my hair every day from now on? If you help me every day, my hair will definitely look beautiful. At this moment, my grin was harder to suppress than a recoil. No problem. From now on, lead your hair to me. I'll be its guardian. Serafina fought back a laugh. He was just too fun. If I punched a junior this cute, he'd probably cry for a long time. We went into the master bedroom. Looking at the large pink bed in the room, I felt a bit awkward. Senior, I said, where am I supposed to sleep? On the bed, obviously. Did you want the floor? We'll each take half. No crossing the line. Whoever crosses it is a dog. Serafina said indifferently. Fine. But there's only one comforter. Maybe I should go buy another one tomorrow? No need. This one is big enough, Serafina said with a hint of displeasure. She had meticulously set this all up. Yet this idiot junior was being so hesitant, acting as if sleeping with her was some kind of burden. The more she thought about it, the more annoyed she got. Stop talking and go to sleep. Serafina pouted. Get over here. She patted the spot next to her, her tone urgent. I didn't dare dawdle. I'm coming, just don't go getting touchy-feely tonight. Serafina warned me. Relax, my character is beyond reproach. If anything, I should worry about you. Serafina glared at me, her eyes flashing with a clear warning. What about me? Nothing, nothing. I turned off the light. Half an hour passed. Senior, are you awake? I couldn't really sleep. I didn't know if it was nerves or something else. Maybe I was just too excited. Being able to sleep in the same bed as the campus goddess. This was something countless guys would kill for. Serafina replied in a small voice. Yeah, I have a bit of insomnia. I can't sleep. I asked curiously, why? I'm usually used to listening to music to fall asleep. Serafina said softly, maybe I should go sleep on the couch? No, how about you sing something for me? I saw the video of you singing on the confession wall. You were pretty good. Okay, just so you know, I might not sound as good without a backing track. As the final lyric faded out, the song came to an end. Senior, are you asleep? I asked in a very low whisper. There was no response. Looks like she drifted off. In that case, I should probably get some sleep too. I let out a yawn. I pulled the comforter over a bit more, to make sure she wouldn't catch a cold. 2 hours passed. I suddenly felt something tightening around my neck, making it hard to breathe. It literally choked me awake. I pulled the thing away from my throat. What on earth? I rubbed my eyes, still half asleep. I instinctively turned my head. As soon as I did, my eyes nearly popped out of my head. Serafina's face was less than 4 inches away from mine. I swallowed hard. Right now, I could feel her breath on me. It made me too afraid to even twitch. My heart rate went through the roof, and my face turned beet red. But she really smelled amazing. I whispered, Senior, this is of my fault. You crossed the line, so I'm not the dog. Then I couldn't help but let out a silly chuckle. Hee hee. I'm not a dog. Senior is the dog. And a very pretty one, too. Senior, you're so beautiful. If only you were actually my girlfriend. I waited a bit longer, to make sure she wouldn't wake up anytime soon. Then I quietly slipped out of bed. After tucking her in, I tiptoed out of the room, holding a pair of pink slippers in my hand, to avoid making any noise. Senior, I'm going out to get you some breakfast. After I left, Serafina didn't open her eyes. The corners of her mouth curled upward. Who wants to be your girlfriend? Gur the dog. I wonder what Senior likes to eat. I was wandering the streets looking for food, when my phone suddenly chimed. Who is it? I took a curious look. It was a message from the guys in the dorm group chat. Hey Luke, aren't you a local? Since it's the break, you want to come out for dinner tonight? I just realized. We'd been at school for nearly a month, and we hadn't gone out for a group meal yet. That wouldn't do. This 3-day weekend was the perfect time for it. No problem. Let's go out for drinks tonight. Drinking is my specialty. I'll drink you guys under the table. It's a plan. Luke, you're the local. You find the place. Got it. After setting a time with the guys, I went back to hunting for breakfast. Eventually, I was standing downstairs with the breakfast in hand. Shoot, I forgot I didn't have a key. I wanted her to wake up and see breakfast right away. If I did that, she'd definitely have a great impression of me. But it looks like I miscalculated. I should probably just text her. Right then, the electronic lock clicked open. Serafina arched an eyebrow. Silly freshman, forgot your key? Senior, weren't you still sleeping? I was pretty surprised. She seemed to be in a deep sleep when I left. I didn't think she'd be up in just half an hour. Serafina's face flushed slightly. I couldn't sleep once my body pillow was gone. I scratched my head. What body pillow? Serafina gave a mischievous smile. My little doggy pillow. It finally clicked. The body pillow she meant was me. But I wasn't the one who crossed the line. Senior, it wasn't, I tried to explain. But Serafina glared at me. Who's the dog? I stammered. I am. I'm the dog. Serafina's smile returned. Good boy. Come on, let's take my puppy Junior home. I let out a sigh. Whatever. If I'm a dog, I'm a dog. At least I get to be held by a goddess while I sleep. Being a dog doesn't seem so bad after all. We went into the living room. Senior, I specifically got you soup dumplings. These are the best ones in the area. I used to order from here all the time during breaks. I gave a goofy grin, once again looking for a compliment. Good job, little freshman. How did you know I wanted soup dumplings this morning? Serafina put on a look of surprise. Heh, I just knew. My grin was practically from ear to ear, seeing her oblivious Junior looking so silly. Serafina couldn't help but laugh. Idiot. If they don't taste good, I'm not cooking for you tonight. I suddenly remembered something. I realized I hadn't reported my plans to Senior yet. I'm planning to go out for a group dinner with my roommates tonight. Serafina blinked her big, watery eyes. She waved her small hand dismissively. Fine. Permission granted. I hurriedly replied, Thank you, Your Majesty. Serafina said with a satisfied look, Rise, my concubine. I froze for a second. Concubine? Since when did I become a concubine? Serafina arched an eyebrow. Is being my concubine not good enough? Or would you rather be a eunuch? Do you want to be my little servant boy? No, I'd rather be your imperial consort. I gave a goofy grin. I definitely didn't want to be a eunuch. Besides, being called her concubine actually sounded pretty good. Then come here and feed me, my concubine. Serafina arched her brow again, wearing a mischievous smirk. My face instantly flushed a deep red. Your Majesty, I simply cannot. Serafina's tone took on a hint of mock displeasure. If you can't do it, then I'll just have to let consort Maya feed me instead. I looked at her, totally confused. Senior was way too good at this roleplay. Where did this consort Maya come from? This was so childish. I wasn't going to play along with her. Serafina let out a sigh. Consort Luke, don't make things difficult for me. You wouldn't want me going off to find other men, would you? I knit my brows. Threatening me? Am I the kind of guy who caves to threats? Let me tell you, I totally am. Here, Senior. It's a little hot, let me blow on it for you. Good, right? I looked at her expectantly. Serafina chewed the food slowly. He had to admit, the soup dumplings from this place were indeed delicious. And since her puppy Junior had bought them for her, they tasted even better. Yeah, it's great. Just as tasty as you. Serafina looked at me with eyes full of laughter. I'm tasty? Senior, you're not an ogre, are you? I put on a terrified expression. Serafina let out a soft chuckle. No, I'm the big bad wolf. And I love eating little white rabbits like you. Wait, more like a little pink bunny. Bunnies are so cute. How could you ever eat one? I like them braised, Senior. Then, do you think I'm hot enough? I asked tentatively. Serafina propped her chin on her hand, studying me carefully. Pretty hot. I think I'll eat you up tonight. I got shy, and my face couldn't help but burn up. I instinctively touched my cheek. Crap. I'm not actually going to catch fire, am I? Serafina burst out laughing at my dazed expression. She couldn't hold it back. Idiot. Senior, do you want to play a game? After finishing breakfast? Serafina had planned to study, but I dragged her over to play games instead. She was usually such a disciplined person, so I was sure she'd actually join me. Serafina set her book down and followed me straight into the gaming room. This time we didn't play anything competitive. Instead, we played Minecraft. When evening rolled around, I picked a barbecue stall near the school and dropped the pin location in the group chat. Half an hour later, everyone had arrived. The second Barnaby sat down, his nose started twitching. Luke, what's that smell on you? Originally, he wanted to smell the barbecue, but instead he caught a whiff of a faint, elegant fragrance emanating from me. Leo leaned in for a sniff. A woman. That is definitely the scent of a woman. I've always been very familiar with the way women smell. That scent on you is so familiar. I feel like I've smelled it before. I rolled my eyes at him. Shut up, you beanpole. Have you even had a girlfriend? How would you be familiar? Barnaby teased. No wonder your nose is so sharp. It's a dog's nose. Screw you, philosopher. Julian just laughed. These two were exactly like this in the dorm, bickering every single day. I laughed along with them. It just proved they were good friends. Who knows? Maybe they'd end up as a couple. Hell no, Barnaby and Leo shouted in unison. Once the beer and side dishes were served, we started playing drinking games with dice. 2 hours later, everyone had had quite a bit to drink. Maybe we should call it a night? Great minds think alike. Everyone agreed to stop right then. My stomach felt incredibly bloated. I couldn't take another drop. They called a cab and left, leaning on each other for support. After I paid the bill and was about to head out, a familiar voice suddenly came from behind me. Luke? I froze for a moment. Then I turned toward the source of the voice. A girl in a floral dress, with a high ponytail, was looking at me with an expression of pure shock. It really is you. I squinted, trying to see clearly who it was. Lily Miller. By now the alcohol was really hitting me. The person in front of me looked like a blurry double image. So that person on the confession wall really was you. Lily walked over, her expression looking very conflicted. I shook my head, and didn't say anything. Lily continued, I know how you feel about me, but I really don't think we're a good match. There was no need to follow me to Riverside University. With your grades, you could have gone to a much better school. I had already moved on from Lily Miller long ago. Right now, my head was spinning, and I just wanted to leave. I didn't. Don't flatter yourself. I tried to walk away, but Lily grabbed my arm. There's no need to pretend. If you really still like me, I can give you one more chance to pursue me. Frowned, trying to shake off her hand. Suddenly, a melodic voice rang out. Let go of him. Serafina appeared out of nowhere and pulled me to her side. Don't you know it's rude to go around grabbing people on the street like that? Serafina said coldly. That aura of icy elegance had returned to her. Ooh, Senior Frost? Lily was clearly in disbelief. The legendary Ice Queen of Riverside was actually here, and she was helping a man out of a jam? What was their relationship? Lily's gaze became complicated. Sorry. Lily hurried to apologize. It really was her fault. I had been trying to leave, but she was the one who held me back. Serafina looked indifferent. You can go now. Lily wanted to leave, but she couldn't help but ask, do you know him? The alcohol was really taking hold now. I was feeling completely lightheaded. Senior, you came to pick me up? Let's go home, okay? Lily looked horrified. Are you his girlfriend? How was that possible? How could the ice goddess be his girlfriend? Serafina didn't give her an answer. She just took my hand. Let's go. Puppy Junior. After they left, Lily Miller remained frozen on the spot. She couldn't calm her racing thoughts. Was she dreaming? Why? Why did she feel like something that belonged to her had just been stolen? On the way back to the apartment, Serafina glared at me. So that was your ex? I just had a stupid grin on my face. What ex? I'd never even been in a relationship. Hearing that, Serafina felt a lot better. What was that all about just now then? Heh, what was what? I just remember someone proposing. Serafina's eyes widened. Wait, you proposed to her? No way. I would only ever propose to you, senior. Serafina completely froze in her tracks. What did I say? Hee, I forgot. I'll take you home once I remember. The corners of Serafina's mouth curled up slightly. Or no. Tying, I want to go back to our bridal home, I said, sounding like a pouting child. Serafina couldn't help but laugh. I really can't with you. So, when do you plan on proposing to me? When you truly fall in love with me, senior, and Serafina Frost loves you too. I muttered, stupid me, plea. Is it possible that I've loved you for a long time already? Alright, we're home. Serafina pinched my cheek. I still had that goofy, blissful smile on my face. Hee. Is this really our home? Silly freshman, why did you have to drink so much? Serafina looked at me with pure doting in her eyes. As soon as we got inside, I flopped straight onto the living room sofa. Drunk Luke is such an idiot, but he is pretty cute. Maybe I should take a picture. Serafina pulled out her phone, knelt down, and leaned her head right next to mine. Oh. Serafina looked at the photo on her phone, very satisfied. In the photo, I was passed out on the sofa, eyes closed with a silly grin on my face. Next to me, Serafina was making a funny face. This would actually make a great wallpaper. Serafina gave my cheek a little poke. She said with mock annoyance, wasted like this. If I hadn't been there, some other woman would have taken advantage of you. A boy being out late at night needs to know how to protect himself. What if someone just picked you up and took you away? Do you understand, you silly freshman? I'm literally your lifesaver. You better say thank you when you wake up tomorrow. I had already drifted off completely. By now, I was deep in dreamland, leaving Senior Frost talking to herself. Looks like a shower is out of the question. You're stuck on the sofa tonight. Then she brought out a blanket and covered me up. Naturally, she grabbed one for herself as well. The living room had 2 sofas, so it worked out perfectly for both of us. Don't go thinking I can't sleep alone. I'm just worried you can't sleep without me, Serafina said to the empty air, acting cool. Good night, you silly freshman. Next day, I woke up on the sofa. My head was throbbing. I could barely keep my eyes open. Tried desperately to remember what happened last night. I only remembered that after I paid the bill, the alcohol really hit me. Then I heard a familiar voice. Who was it? I racked my brain but couldn't recall, and I looked around at the familiar surroundings. How did I get back? I was completely confused. I threw off the blanket and checked my clothes, worried that I might have been messed with by some random woman. Luckily, my clothes were still intact. That was a close one. You're awake, Serafina said as she walked out of the kitchen. I made some porridge for you. Go get cleaned up and eat it while it's hot. I nodded. I smelled like a brewery. I'd feel too embarrassed to be near her without showering. I finished my shower in no time. When I got to the table, Senior had already set a bowl out for me. Serafina served herself a small bowl too, eating in delicate little bites. I felt the atmosphere getting a bit awkward. Senior, how did I get back last night? Serafina said indifferently. I brought you home. I asked tentatively. Then, did you see? Before I could finish, Serafina's expression remained perfectly flat. I saw your ex. I rushed to explain. Senior, she's not my ex. There's nothing between us anymore. She rejected me a long time ago. Please don't get the wrong idea. A triumphant smile played on Serafina's lips. Why are you explaining this to me? Is it that important? Seeing my panicked state, Serafina found it hilarious. She could play me like a fiddle every single time. It was too much fun. What if this innocent guy gets tricked by someone else? I might as well be the one to trick him. I went quiet for a moment, then spoke the honest truth. It is important. What? Serafina was startled. I said, it's important to me that you know the truth. I didn't care anymore. Honesty was my only move. Serafina let out a soft laugh. Her tone turned gentle. You really are too honest. Suddenly I said, Senior, I actually don't think you're cold at all. Serafina looked intrigued. She arched an eyebrow. Oh? Why is that? I don't know. At least when I'm with you. I don't feel that distance. I actually think you're pretty lively sometimes. Serafina laughed to herself. You silly freshman. Is it possible that I'm only like this with you? Can you tell me about that girl? Your story with her? Serafina asked. I didn't try to hide anything. We met in our freshman year of high school. She was the most popular girl in class. We were seatmates back then. She asked me for help a lot, and eventually I realized I liked her. I paused for a bit, then continued slowly. Later, she rejected me. She told me if we got into the same university, she'd be with me. I worked hard and got into Riverside University, but she didn't choose to be with me after all. It doesn't matter now, though. I've moved on. It was just an empty promise. I only have myself to blame for taking it seriously. Serafina looked at me with sympathy. Someone who can't even keep a promise. They never deserve to be with you anyway. I smiled. Senior, Do you have a promise that you've kept for a long time? Serafina said softly. Yeah, I do. She propped her chin on her hand and looked at me. Her gaze was deep and meaningful. I'd say it's been fulfilled. At least on a legal level, it's been fulfilled. I was a little lost. What did a promise have to do with the law? I gave a silly laugh. I can't guess what it is, but I know you're a woman of your word, Senior. That's good enough for me. Serafina smiled serenely. Actually, you're a man of your word too. I scratched my head, feeling a bit shy. I guess that's true. After all, I kept my end and got into Riverside. She was the only one who didn't follow through. Serafina's eyes grew intense. Actually, we both fulfilled the exact same promise. Maybe it's because my conscience finally kicked in. But I finally started writing again. I hadn't written a word for 2 days. If I didn't update soon, my readers would start sending me death threats. I racked my brain just to hit my 4,000-word goal. Lately, I've been seriously lacking inspiration. It took me about 2.5 hours just to scrape together 2 chapters. I muttered to myself, I feel like I need to go out for a walk to find some inspiration. Going out for a stroll all by myself seemed kinda boring. Maybe I should ask Senior if she wants to go. I can't just stay cooped up at home all break. With that thought, I walked into the living room. I saw her studying and scratched my head, feeling a bit awkward as I spoke. Senior, are you free tonight? Serafina stopped what she was doing. She was momentarily stunned. What's up? She asked with a questioning look. I just wanted to go for a stroll in the park tonight, to look for some inspiration. Do you want to come for a walk with me? Serafina tilted her head and looked at me. Are you asking me out? Do you want to go on a date with me? A date? Date with Senior? I couldn't help but flush a deep red. And no, you idiot. Serafina let out a mocking giggle. I scratched my head awkwardly. Senior, if you don't have the time. Serafina propped her chin on her hands. She gave a shallow smile. Who? Said I don't? I'm available right now. I didn't catch it. Didn't you hear me? I said right now. Fine. Thanks, Senior. I ran back to the gaming room with a red face and kept writing. Idiot. He doesn't even know what that phrase means. I call him an idiot and he really is one. Maybe I should just call him Smarty Pants Jr. from now on. Maybe that would actually make him a bit smarter. I hope our future kids won't be as dense as he is. The 2 of us strolled through the park. Senior, why didn't you go home for the Mid-Autumn Festival? I asked curiously. I wasn't going home because my old man wouldn't let me. But why didn't Senior go back? Serafina said indifferently. Even if I went back, I'd just be alone. My dad is usually quite busy. He's rarely at home. My mom, back when I was very small, passed away due to an illness. Senior, I'm so sorry. I immediately realized I had said the wrong thing. Serafina shook her head. It's fine. Actually, I'm quite envious of you. Your mom texts me all the time. I can feel that she treats me like her own daughter. I had no idea my mom was texting Serafina in private. Your dad is a good person too. Good? I'm starting to wonder if I'm even his biological son. What kind of parent doesn't let their kid come home for the holidays? Serafina forced a smile. The only family I have left now is my dad. So he's very good to me. He basically gives me whatever I want. I didn't know why, but my heart ached for her. Actually, I could be your family too. The words slipped out of my mouth instinctively. Serafina was slightly stunned. Her cheeks flushed a bit. What do you mean by that? I explained with a red face. Well, didn't we get married? At least legally speaking. I count as your family member now. Serafina burst into a laugh. Idiot. Senior, look. Someone's singing. At that moment, on the edge of the park plaza, long-haired man was singing. Let's go take a look. I brought Serafina over. We sat down on the steps. We quietly listened to the guy sing. After listening for about 10 minutes, he asked with a smile, Does anyone else want to come up and sing? Singing for the person you love is a very happy thing. Several couples in the crowd looked like they were tempted, but they were afraid they wouldn't sound good. They hesitated. I glanced at Senior. What about all the little moments we had shared recently? Suddenly, a song came to mind. I really wanted to sing it out loud. Does this guy want to come up? I can tell you really want to sing for your girlfriend. Maybe my expression was too obvious. The street performer captured my thoughts at a glance. Serafina smiled serenely. I want to hear you sing, too. Since Senior had said that, I didn't hesitate anymore. I stood up immediately. I walked up to the performer and took the microphone. I whispered to him what I wanted to sing. The song was called You Can Hear It. I wanted to sing it for my Senior. I looked at her with deep meaning in my eyes. Serafina trembled slightly. Is it really this song? My gentle voice was filled with emotion. It touched almost every couple there. Some were singing along, and some other couples couldn't help but start kissing. The song ended. Street performer was stunned. Man, this guy can really sing. Thanks. I handed the mic back to him. Then I hurried back to find Senior. Senior, how was it? Can you hear it? I asked softly. Yeah, I hear it. The 2 of us smiled in perfect sync. Senior, I reached out my hand. Serafina tilted her head with a smile. Do you want to hold my hand? My face heated up. I explained. I'm just worried you might trip. Serafina pursed her lips and smiled, not calling me out. All right then. Since you're doing it for my own good, I guess I have no choice. She generously took my hand. Let's go. After standing up, Serafina didn't let go. Both of us tacitly kept our hands joined. As I held her small hand, it felt so soft and smooth. So this is what Senior's hand feels like. It feels great. I don't want to let go. My heart was thumping like a restless deer, but I tried my best to act calm. If Senior didn't say anything, what was I so nervous about? We're married, holding hands isn't over the line, right? I stole a glance at her. I could see the expression on her face. It hadn't changed much. Why is there no reaction? Does she really only see me as a younger brother? A flicker of disappointment hit me. But what I didn't know was that while Serafina looked calm on the outside, her heart was absolutely exploding. He's holding my hand. His hand is so big. It feels so safe. Serafina forced herself to stay composed. Her palm was already starting to sweat from nerves. Junior, is my hand soft? No, sorry, Senior. I thought she was telling me to let go. I moved to release her hand immediately. But just as I did, her small hand gripped mine tightly. Serafina knit her brows slightly. You don't like holding my hand? Shook my head frantically. I like it a lot. You like what? I like Senior's hand. Pervert. Serafina burst into a laugh. Idiot. I made a sour face, feeling quite helpless. I had already figured it out. Senior seemed to really love teasing me, but I didn't mind it. In fact, I kind of enjoyed it. Was I well, luckily Serafina can't read minds. If she knew what was going on in my head, she definitely wouldn't be able to stop laughing. The two of us walked to the center of the park plaza, watching the kids running around and playing. Suddenly, a tiny, high-pitched voice called out, "Why are you staring at us?" We both looked toward the sound. A little boy was holding a little girl's hand. His face was full of curiosity. I gave a gentle smile, because seeing you two is like looking at a younger version of myself. Serafina asked curiously, "You still remember things from when you were that little?" I thought about it for a moment. I really didn't have many memories of my early childhood. The earliest stuff was mostly forgotten, but I still remembered things from around when I was 10. Big brother, is she your girlfriend? She's so pretty. The little boy's praise was sincere. Both of us were stunned. I was just about to explain. Serafina gave a little smile. Not exactly. We aren't just a couple. We might be husband and wife. We already have the license. The disappointment I felt earlier vanished, replaced by a surge of secret joy. I stole a glance at Senior. Serafina Frost had a faint smile on her face. The little boy looked incredibly shocked. Angel Lady, you're actually married? Aren't you guys college students? Serafina spoke gently. It's because we reached the legal age to get married, so we were allowed to do it. My gaze softened as I looked at her. Right now, Serafina really did look like an angel. It was just like the little boy said. An angel lady. She was being so kind. I spoke up softly. Senior, this little boy is really cute. He actually looks a lot like you did when you were a kid. Like me when I was a kid? Have you even seen photos of me from back then? No way. I was already incredibly handsome even as a child. Shameless, Serafina pouted with a giggle. A moment later, I spotted a stand selling drinks and snacks. Senior, wait here. I'll go buy us something refreshing. Hey, can I get 2 servings of grass jelly? I said with a smile. Sure thing, the vendor replied. Just a second. Soon the 2 cups were ready. Excuse me, how much is 1 grass jelly? Can I buy one for $3? A tiny, high-pitched voice piped up. Sorry, kid. 1 serving is $5. The vendor said, looking a bit apologetic. I noticed him immediately. It was the same little boy, who Senior said looked like me. Here you go, little guy. I generously handed one of the cups over to him. The boy was momentarily stunned. He looked hesitant. Is this okay? You spent your own money to buy this, big brother. I smiled. It's fine. Take it. Serafina watched this scene from a short distance away. She hadn't expected her idiot junior to be so kind-hearted. Corners of her mouth curled up involuntarily. I didn't know you were this kind of guy. I think I like you even more now. Senior, I'm back. I ran back happily, holding the 1 cup of grass jelly I had left. Serafina arched an eyebrow. You only bought 1? Aren't you going to have any? I gave a goofy grin. I already had mine. I basically bought it for my younger self. Besides, I'm not that thirsty. Silly boy, Serafina smiled dotingly. The 2 of us found a place to sit down. Try some. Based on my expertise, this grass jelly is definitely going to be delicious. If it's bad, you can hit me. Oh, I won't hit you. Serafina pursed her lips. Why not? I asked curiously. Serafina got a very knowing look in her eyes. Because if I hit you, you could sue me for domestic violence. I really hadn't expected Senior to think that far ahead. Senior, do you have some kind of persecution complex? Shut up, you're the one with a complex. I was just kidding. You idiot. Serafina rolled her eyes at me. I made a gesture like I was taking an oath. It's fine. I would never sue my senior for domestic violence. I swear. Serafina looked at me with a strange expression. So, does that mean you like being hit by me? Serafina gave me a very meaningful look. I didn't know my junior had those kinds of tastes. Wait, that's not... Is that really it? No, it's not. I tried desperately to explain. Serafina propped her chin on one hand. She tilted her head and gave a mischievous smirk. I haven't even said what it is yet, so why are you reacting so strongly? Is it actually true? I coughed nervously, feeling guilty. Hee, I'm none of those things. I put on a pleading expression. Aj, Senior, stop teasing me. You know I'm not smart enough for this. Serafina pursed her lips and smiled. Fine. I guess I can let you off the hook just this once. She used the spoon to gently scoop up a bit of the grass jelly. She took a bite. It was sweet, icy, and refreshing. The flavor was excellent. I watched her expression with great anticipation. How is it, Senior? Does it taste good? Serafina nodded. It's all right. So, I guess I'll hold off on hitting you for now. Serafina ate about half of it, before she started feeling like she couldn't finish. Even though it was delicious, she was getting quite full. But she didn't want to waste the other half. Then it hit her. She had a human trash can sitting right next to her. Hey, silly freshman, what's up? Genius, Senior? I looked at her quietly. Senior really did get prettier the more I looked at her. I used to only steal glances at her face, but now I was starting to get bolder. I can't finish this. Help me get rid of it. Serafina handed over the remaining grass jelly. I froze for a second. Grass jelly she'd already eaten using her spoon. If you won't eat it, I'm throwing it away. Serafina made a move to stand up. I'll eat it. I hurriedly said, Senior, you know me. I hate wasting food more than anything. Let me take care of it. I spoke with a look of absolute righteousness. Taking the cup from her hand, I enjoyed every bit of the remaining grass jelly. Grass jelly tastes better when it's from Senior. Serafina looked at me with pure disdain. Junior, you really are a pervert. A total pervert. I was completely dumbfounded. Senior, I'm being framed. I'm really not a pervert. Sure, Serafina said dismissively. But her face was a picture of total disbelief. My expression was somewhere between a grimace and a sob. I finally realized what people mean when they say one thing but think another. Hey, Pervert Junior, there are a lot of old school toys over there, Serafina said suddenly. Can you please stop calling me Pervert Junior? I actually think Silly Junior was much better. With a pained face, I followed her to the stall. The owner was a man in his 60s. On his simple stand, there were a ton of toys. I immediately recognized the hand-pushed flying saucers I used to play with. Such a classic. Do you want to buy one? Serafina saw through my thoughts instantly. I scratched my head. Senior, you don't think I'm being childish, do you? I do, Serafina said, deadpan, but I bought it anyway. I wanted to find that old feeling again too. A moment later, I was holding the flying saucer. I pushed it and it went flying into the air. I ran back to brag to Senior with a huge grin. How was that, Senior? Did it go high? Childish, Serafina said with a cheeky grin. I was totally confused. Senior, do you have a split personality or something? Serafina said calmly. Yeah, that was my second personality talking. Now let's head back, you big baby. Okay. We had been out for quite a while. I was starting to feel a little tired too. Today was the third day of break. The very last day. We had to go back to school tomorrow. Why did I feel so reluctant to leave? I had such a great time these past few days. I had finally confirmed my own feelings. I was definitely in love with Senior. Senior, can I come here every weekend from now on? I asked tentatively. Serafina propped her chin on her hand. She arched an eyebrow. Stupid. Didn't I tell you already? This is our bridal home. If you want to come over, just text me. My face turned red from shyness. I nodded, trying to play it cool. For some reason, when Senior said it was our bridal home, I felt a strange sense of happiness in my heart. Senior, I'm heading out then. Serafina looked at me tenderly. Luke, you idiot, it's not like we won't see each other at school. The night before the semester started, my sons. Your father has returned, I shouted excitedly. Oh, my favorite son is finally back. Barnaby gave me a satisfied smile. He had a kind smile, like a loving father. Leo said mockingly, You've been gone for a few days, and Barnaby's hormones have had nowhere to go. It's been disgusting. He's even grossing out the guys in the other dorms. Barnaby barked back, Shut up, you beanpole, stop making things up. I walked over and patted both of them on the shoulder. You two need to stop fighting all the time. It breaks my heart to see it. Wait a second, Leo suddenly shouted. Why do you smell like a woman? He stared at me suspiciously. Are you hiding a girlfriend from the rest of the dorm? I was a little shocked. I didn't expect Leo's nose to be sharper than a bloodhound's. I had been living with a beautiful Senior for the past few days, so her scent had definitely rubbed off on me. I haven't found a girlfriend, I explained. I don't believe you. I smelled it before we went drinking last time too. You're definitely hiding a girlfriend on the side. You've betrayed the organization. The village won't let you get away with this. Exactly. Room 337 has no place for you, Barnaby chimed in. I said helplessly, What are you guys even talking about? I really haven't found a girlfriend. Although, I really wanted Senior to be my girlfriend. I wasn't even sure if a confession would work. Leo said with an air of absolute righteousness. If you actually manage to get off the market, what happens to the three of us? We're bros. Do you really have the heart to leave us all single? Unless, Leo gave a sneaky grin. Hook each of us up with 2 girls. And they better be high-tier beauties, I replied grumpily as we headed to Monday's class. Our 8th AM session was advanced calculus. It was incredibly boring. I wasn't paying attention to the lecture. Instead, I pulled out my phone and started scrolling through videos. But I found that scrolling was boring too. Suddenly, my mind was only focused on one person, Tiger Frost. Maybe I should send her a text? I thought about it for a long time. Finally, I sent, "Senior, are you awake yet?" Meanwhile, in the girls' dorm, Seraphina Frost looked at the message I sent. The corners of her mouth curled up into an involuntary smile. My silly junior is actually taking the initiative. "What's up? Do you miss me?" The moment I saw her reply, my face started to feel hot. "Senior, why are you out here telling the truth like that?" "I don't, I'm just bored." Seraphina couldn't help but laugh out loud. Knowing her silly junior as she did, he was probably blushing like crazy right now. Typical denial. "Senior, don't you have class?" "No, juniors have way fewer classes." "I'm so jealous. I still have to suffer through calculus. I hate math so much. I'm worried I'm going to fail the final. What should I do?" "Your senior could help you tutor for advanced calculus, but since you hate math, I guess there's no point." "Senior tutoring me in calculus?" I could already imagine the 2 of us studying alone together. "Point no. Just me and her. Actually, I guess I don't hate calculus that much." "Please, senior. That depends on your sincerity. I'll buy you dinner." I regretted sending that message the moment it left my phone. Asking her out for dinner? Senior has so many admirers. She definitely isn't lacking for a free meal. I'll think about it. She followed it up with a meme of a panda doctor thinking seriously. I was a little surprised to see the meme. I assumed a girl as beautiful as her would use those really cute aesthetic emojis. I didn't expect her memes to be so abstract. Senior really has a different side to her in private. Seraphina was lying on her bed in the dorm, her fair, dainty feet swinging back and forth behind her. It was clear she was in a very good mood. Maya said suspiciously, "Sarah, you look pretty happy." Seraphina pulled back her smile and said coolly, "Do I?" Maya said slowly, "Oh, you definitely do. Your feet are practically kicking the ceiling." Still going to deny it? Seraphina finally noticed that her own feet had betrayed her. That didn't stop her from being stubborn. Maybe they just have a mind of their own. Maya sighed at her stubbornness. "You're impossible." Seraphina pouted. "I'm a beautiful swan. Not impossible." Maya shook her head. "You've changed. You've become narcissistic. You're not the Sarah I used to know. Something is very wrong with you. You're definitely in love." Meanwhile, in the boys' dorm, "What are you grinning at?" Leo looked at me with a confused face. "Not telling," I said indifferently. "All right, fine. Don't tell me. Just don't sleep too soundly tonight." I didn't bother replying to the idiot. I didn't know why, but I really wanted to see her. It had already been over a dozen hours since I last saw Senior. It felt terrible. I wondered if she'd eaten breakfast yet. "Senior, have you had breakfast?" "No." "Why?" "Skipping breakfast is bad for your health. I'm almost out of class. I'll buy some and bring it to you." "Do you like sweet soy milk or salty soy milk?" This idiot wants to bring me breakfast? Seraphina was momentarily stunned. She didn't actually like soy milk that much. I like it sweet. Of course, anything my silly junior brings is an exception. It wasn't that she liked sweet drinks. She liked that her junior was bringing it to her. "Senior, should I buy a portion for your roommate too? You want to deliver to 2 people now. You're quite the player, aren't you?" Good timing. Scumbag junior. I suddenly felt a chill run down my spine. "I just wanted to make a good impression on your roommate. That way, maybe she'll help me out and say some good things about me to you." I didn't expect her to call me a scumbag. It made me break out in a cold sweat. Does Senior really think I'm a player? Barnaby mocked me. "What's wrong with you? The AC is working fine, isn't it? Why are you sweating? Are you sick?" I looked at him speechless. "I just feel like sweating, okay?" "Senior, I'm being framed. I'll only buy yours then. I'm really not a scumbag." Seraphina burst out laughing. She could already imagine her silly junior sweating through his shirt in panic. Seraphina glanced at Maya, who was wearing headphones and studying. She muttered under her breath, "Do you want breakfast?" "No." "Fine, silence means no. Then I'll just have my junior buy one portion. You're the one who didn't want it. Don't go blaming me later for not asking." Maya, with her headphones on, had no idea at that moment that she had just turned down a free breakfast. "Amy," I asked her. She said she doesn't want any. She doesn't like eating breakfast bought by other people. "Okay, I got it." During the 10-minute break between university classes, I planned to use the time to deliver the breakfast. Just purely delivering breakfast. It definitely wasn't because I missed her. I sprinted to the dining hall to buy the food. Time was tight after all, and the distance from the classrooms to the dorms was quite far. If I didn't run fast enough, I'd be late for my next class. Soon I arrived at the bottom of the girls' dorm. "Senior, I'm here." Receiving the message, Seraphina's eyebrows shot up. "That fast? Shouldn't he still be in the classroom right now?" Seraphina looked at the clock and realized the truth. This silly junior used his break time to come all this way. Seraphina quickly put on her slippers and rushed downstairs. That silly junior didn't tell her sooner. Otherwise, she definitely would have gone down to wait for him. I was already downstairs by then, holding a breakfast set in my hand, glancing at the girls' dorm exit every now and then. A moment later, Serafina walked out. She was wearing a loose white t-shirt, with her hair up in a bun. Her stunning face paired with those lively eyes gave off a vibrant, youthful energy. Senior, over here. I raised my hand, and Serafina jogged over. Look at you, your face is covered in sweat. Before I knew it, she was holding a pink handkerchief in her hand. She began dabbing the sweat off my face. My face instantly turned beet red all the way to my neck. Isn't this a little too intimate? Senior's handkerchief smells so good. Senior, I can do it myself. I took the handkerchief from her. If the atmosphere stayed this romantic, I'd only sweat more from the nerves. Serafina sounded a bit worried. You could have just come over after your classes. There was no need to rush like this. University isn't like high school. Running all the way here must have been exhausting. I gave a sheepish grin. It wasn't bad. If I waited until class was over, it would be 10,030. I didn't want you to be hungry, Senior. Skipping breakfast is bad for your health. Serafina smiled, her face flushing slightly. Then she arched an eyebrow and said, So you only came here just to deliver breakfast? I handed the breakfast to her, and then said shyly, I also wanted to see you. Serafina gave a playful smile. See me for what? Did you miss me? I nodded honestly. Yeah. She was momentarily stunned. She didn't expect her silly junior to be so honest instead of being stubborn. Well, have you seen enough? She tilted her head and smiled. Yeah, I have. Then I should head back to class. Here's your handkerchief. Keep it. Wait, you'll definitely be sweating again on the run back, Serafina said, pursing her lips. I hesitated for a moment, but Serafina knit her brows. Are you rejecting me? No way. How could I ever reject you, Senior? I said instinctively. The corners of Serafina's mouth curled up. If you're not rejecting it, then you must like it. I guess so. By now my face was flushing deep red. Looking at my reaction, Serafina only thought I was incredibly cute. Senior? It's getting late. Class is starting soon. I have to get back. See you next time. Serafina nodded. Watching the flustered back of her silly junior, she couldn't help but laugh. What an idiot. Sarah, why didn't you tell me you were buying breakfast? Maya pouted, her face written with annoyance. Serafina said calmly, I didn't buy it. Someone gave it to me. Besides, I did ask you, okay? But you completely ignored me. Maya looked confused. When did you ask me? Wait, I had my headphones on. Hold on, you said someone gave you this breakfast? Maya looked completely incredulous. The world has gone crazy. Totally insane. The world has turned into something I don't recognize. Riverside's campus goddess, the cold senior. The ice queen, you actually accepted breakfast from someone? Was it a guy or a girl? It's not some creep, is it? Someone younger than you? Or older? Serafina arched an eyebrow. I'm not telling. At this moment, Maya really felt like she was dreaming. Everyone knew she was the most distant girl on campus. She never let guys get close. Countless guys had tried to approach her, and the result was always the same. They all failed. This was her best friend. How could she not know her personality? And now she was actually telling her that she accepted breakfast from someone. Please tell me, okay? I'm dying of curiosity to know. Who could possibly get close to our ice queen? I need to see if he's handsome, if he's tall, if he has good character. Otherwise, how can he deserve to be your boyfriend? Maya's voice carried a hint of pleading. After all, in all their time at college, Serafina hadn't shown interest in a single man. Now, she finally had someone she liked. As Serafina's best friend, how could she resist gossiping? Serafina's tone was incredibly calm. Why are you asking so many questions? Anyone would think you were the one picking out a man. Besides, when did I ever say I had a boyfriend? Maya was momentarily stunned. If he's not your boyfriend, then is he an admirer? Serafina said with a straight face. He's just the son of a family friend. He just started college this year. He's a freshman junior. I showed him to his dorm when school started. So he bought me breakfast as a way to say thanks. Perfectly reasonable, right? So that's how it is. Maya had a sudden realization. Oh, okay. I thought you were actually dating. So it's just a junior. She let out a sigh of relief. Meanwhile, in the classroom, didn't you go to get breakfast? Are you done eating? Is the dining hall that hot? Why are you covered in sweat? Leo asked curiously. I returned to my seat, panting heavily. Don't even ask. I'm exhausted. This campus is huge. The dorms are way too far from here. What? You went back to the dorms? Class isn't even over yet. What did you go back for? I gave a silly laugh. To deliver breakfast to Senior, of course. Guess. Leo looked totally speechless. I'm not a kid. Why would I guess? I asked, do you have any tissues? I need to wipe this sweat off. He pulled a pack of tissues from his pocket. Here. I chuckled. Thanks, Beanpole. I'll buy you some sugarcane to eat next time. Leo's face darkened. Get lost. I glanced at the pink handkerchief. I put it away immediately. I really couldn't bear to use the handkerchief Senior gave me. Wait, you have a handkerchief? Why are you asking for tissues? Leo's eyes widened. I explained. Someone gave this to me. I don't want to ruin it by wiping sweat. Leo instantly turned into Sherlock Holmes. Pink? Someone gave it to you? You just went to the dorms. And you're covered in sweat. Something is very wrong with you. There is only one truth. I've got it. You went to buy breakfast for a girl. He turned around to tattle to the other two roommates. Barnaby was shocked. What? Luke bought breakfast for a girl? Bro, you really found a girlfriend? Julian looked on in confusion. I explained helplessly, number. I haven't found a girlfriend. I just, like her. Leo immediately cut in. Then that's even worse. Delivering breakfast like that makes you a total simp. What if she doesn't like you? What if she's just using you as an ATM? Julian tried to mediate. Hey, don't assume the worst about people. This isn't the internet. There aren't that many princesses out there. I thought about it. A simp? Senior even cooked for me. She's putting in effort too, okay? An ATM? Her family seems pretty wealthy. She probably wouldn't care about the pocket change I have. After reflecting, I loved Senior even more. Barnaby sighed. My son is all grown up. I can't keep him home anymore. Get lost. I rolled my eyes at him. Julian asked, how did you guys meet? I guess you could say it was a family introduction. Meeting her for the first time felt like a dream. Well, wasn't it? We went straight to the marriage bureau to get our license. If that's not a dream, I don't know what is.